My name is James. Welcome to Story Corner, presented by the grade 4 class at Colonel John Stuart Elementary School. Today we are bringing these stories from the imagination of students in our class. And now sit back, relax, and get ready for
The Lonely Puppy Gets a Brother,
Leo the Bear,
Spider Sam,
Fish Legs and Arms, and The Hungry Dragon.
My name is Haley, and my story is called The Lonely Puppy Gets a Brother. Once there was a puppy named Cassidy. She was a Pomeranian with white fur and blue and green eyes, and she was the size of a book. And every day, she would always cry to herself, "Why don't I have anyone to play with?" Until one day, her mom had another puppy. Because of that, Cassidy had a new brother named Michael. Because of that, Cassidy was always nagging Michael to come and play with her. Because of that, Cassidy and Michael could play, but Michael was too small. Until finally, Michael got big enough to play with her. Ever since then, Cassidy and Michael always played together, and Cassidy was never lonely again. The end.
The title of my story is Leo the Bear. Once there was a bear named Leo. He was 9 years old. He was an energetic bear. He was the only one in his family that was a ghost bear. And every day he raced with his little sister Lily. She was 7 years old. She had a squeaky voice. She was a grizzly bear, and she was more energetic than her brother Leo. Until one day, humans took Lily for an experiment. The experiment was to make bears servants to humans. Because of that, Leo and his dad Logan went to the smelly forest to find Lily, and Leo was so mad that he could explode into millions of pieces. Because of that, they got lost and could not find their way. Logan was worried because they couldn't find any food. Because of that, they found some help in the swamp. They found a wolf named Spots, a spirit wolf. He was turquoise, cyan, purple, and blue. Until finally, they found Lily tangled up in leather chains. They just kept chewing. Then they freed her. Ever since then, they had fun with their new friend Spots in their new house, so the humans would never find them again. The end.
Hi, my name is Sam. My story is called Spider Sam. Once there was a boy named Sam, and he had brown hair and green and blue eyes. Sam has a clear voice. Sam was walking home from school, and every day he would lay down on the couch watching superhero movies. Until one day, he got bit by a radioactive spider, and he got some powers. He could shoot webs, had blades, and he could electrocute with his hands. The spider was the size of a nickel, and Sam hit the spider, and it died. Because of that, he gave it lots of thought. What would I use these powers for? But then he got it. He got in his car and went to his nan's, and he asked his nan, "Can I borrow your sewing machine?" Anne said yes. Because of that, he made a suit. It took him 6 months to make it, but it was worth the while. It was black and yellow, so he learned his powers. As he was walking down the road, bam! Sam put on his mask and said, "Where am I?" The man beside him said, "The bank." Spider Sam jumped in. It was a villain. It was the Doc Max. Doc Max is green and white. No one knew what he looked like. Spider Sam was kicking and punching and using his powers, until finally, Spider Sam had so much energy, he used it all and beat the evil Doc Max. Ever since then, Spider Sam was born, better than ever, and he was a superhero. The end.
My name is Ryan, and my story is called Fish Legs and Arms. Once there was a fish named Fred. He was blue and yellow, and he was really fun and funny. He lived in a fishbowl, and every day he swam 10 laps around the huge fishbowl, until one day he accidentally swam 11 laps, but he didn't know.
Because of that, Fred felt really weird and he couldn't move. Because of that, he started growing legs and arms and he got really big and strong. And they were almost the same color as human legs and arms. Because of that, Fred's fishbowl broke and he didn't know what to do until finally Fred's owner saw it and he bought a new tank. But not a fishbowl, a turtle tank. Ever since then, Fred has been walking around. The end.
My name is Theo, and my story is called The Hungry Dragon. Once there was a white dragon who was always hungry and never stopped eating things. And every day he would go to the biggest and yummiest rainbow in the world and lick it 5 times. Until one day, the biggest and yummiest rainbow in the world disappeared in a puff of smoke. Confetti was all over the place. Because of that, the white dragon was starving, and the only thing he had to eat were trees, and he hated the taste of it. Because of that, the world rained giant food from the sky, and the dragon knew he does not see that every day. Because of that, he was still unhappy because he wanted to have some friends to share it with. Until finally, he saw 3 other dragons. The first one was red, the second one was green, and the last one was blue. At first, the dragon did not know what to say, but soon he saw that just like him, they had pink bellies, silver stripes, and yellow polka dots. So he went over to the other dragons and asked them if they would share the giant food that rained from the sky. And they thought for a long time until they finally said yes. Ever since then, the white dragon was so happy that he and the other dragons went to share the giant food that rained from the sky, and they all stayed friends for the rest of their lives. Also, the white dragon never felt unhappy and went hungry ever again. The end.
You've been listening to stories created by students in Miss MacDonald's and Miss Hazelwood's grade 4 class at Colonel John Stuart Elementary School, written and recorded during our story workshop in March of 2021.
This is a region.
Try again.
Halifax, people.
1, 2, 3, go.
This
is a Halifax Regional Arts production.